Waldman is an internationally known poet, performer, professor, and editor with strong personal links to the New York School, the Beat literary movement, and the experimental strands of the New American poetry. She is a distinguished professor of poetics at the Jack Kerouac School of Disembodied Poetics at Naropa University in Boulder, Colorado, a program she co-founded with poet Allen Ginsberg in 1974. She is the author of more than 30 books, including, most recently, Outrider, Essays, Interviews, Poetry, The Structure of the World Compared to a Bubble, Vow to Poetry, Essays, Interviews, and Manifestos, Marriage, a Sentence, Fast-Speaking Woman, Ayavis, All is Full of Jovi, books 1 and 2, and Kill or Cure. Florencia San Martín, her translator, was born in Santiago, Chile, a writer and artist. Her work focuses on the relationship between art and literature, specifically with poetry. Chile's National Committee of Scientific and Technological Research awarded her a scholarship to pursue an MFA in creative writing in Spanish at New York University, where she's completing her last semester. She has recently written a wonderful poetic essay sobre el acto de pintar on the artwork and poetry of Chilean artist Roberto Mata.
And wonderful to be here in this illustrious company. And yes, to second some of Charles's comments about the importance of this kind of work, and very inspired by the program here. We actually had one of the faculty come to the Kerouac School, Lila Zamborin, and teach in Spanish, teach workshops in Spanish, and I've been involved with projects in writing schools in Vienna where classes are taught in Spanish, French, English, and I'm off to a program in North Africa where we'll be working with Berber school children and working with French and English, and then they will bring Arabic into the mix, and maybe I'll learn something. So I'm very delighted to have this kind of obscure suite of poems called Tell Me About It, Poems for Painters. This was in a small pamphlet a number of years ago and has not made its way into other books, so it was terrific to have this resurrected, and it evokes for me a time of terrific collaboration with visual artists, many of them in this neighborhood in the Lower East Side. And when I was working at the Poetry Project, we would march into various artists' lofts and get them to do a cover for a book or a mimeograph magazine, and it would be, you know, hot off the press within 24 hours. And invoking some of that spirit of the New York School, of course, well-known connection always with painters, and with the exception of Balthus, who I once saw at a gallery, most of these people invoked here are friends. So the wonderful artist Joe Brainerd, George Schneemann, who recently passed away, Alex Katz has referenced, Jane Freilacher, Donna Dennis, Yvonne Jacquette, and others, as well as Edwin Demby, who was a terrific poet and dance critic, and also very tuned to the looking and talking. So this sense of tell me about it, that the work is telling me about it and the conversation with the artists, and it has a kind of breezy feel. But I'll begin with the Balthus. Tinted vapor clouds, raked like ideas modeled by a Frenchman. He painted them into fervent girls and liked on a blouse. She pulls on a blouse tight like a stocking. His nautical tattoo, his sleek down hair are misleading. Not to be a cipher in this town, but a mind of his own, a coat of arms which could be disarming later to a critic. Something to wonder at in a museum, not a name, but a shabby coat, charming arms, misshapen little girl head. What's in it? Tinted vapor. But clouds aren't subordinate yet. simplified by being suddenly people. She spreads her legs. A tripped down, spent beauty lies here in the paint, exhausting change of scale and focus, but someone didn't make up your mind for you. By essential control of something like a canvas, something like a vast shell of frame for some long existing something, someone not thinking about patrons necessarily, but needing buyers like we need rent stabilization. So single out an incident of glare in a room, a game of patience, a book, something done at an odd angle in front of a fireplace, glare at my legs. Or this storyline, an old man, a young thing, he broke up a girl menage to marry. Or I read a pronouncement on World War I where everyone said, we never really rationed in France. Let's do it again and pretend not to be poor. A man opens the door to the living room or bedroom, all hell spills out, or heaven, depending on his mood. Wonder at the painter who silenced this underage girl citizen forever in time and spent evenings gulling the inexperienced travelers, or so someone thought, but all this steals upon my brain and gathers together, but does not fasten.
Baltus. Las coloreadas nubes de vapor se trazan como ideas modeladas por un francés. Él las pintó como efervescientes niñas y la luz en una blusa. Ella aprieta la blusa como se hace con una media. Su tatuaje náutico, su cabello engominado son engañosos. No será un código en este pueblo sino una mente propia, un escudo, que para un crítico después puede ser arrebatador. Algo con que maravillarse en un museo, no un nombre, sino un abrigo harapiento, brazos adorables, deforme cabeza de niña. ¿Qué hay allí? Vapor coloreado. Pero las nubes no están subordinadas ni simplificadas por ser personas de repente. Ella abre sus piernas. Una belleza gastada y derribada acostada ahí en la pintura. Cambio extenuante de escala y de enfoque. Pero alguien no se decidió por ti a través del control esencial de algo como el lienzo. Algo como la enorme cáscara del marco. Para alguna cosa de tan larga existencia, algo no pensado necesariamente sobre los mecenas, pero que necesita compradores como nosotros, necesitamos la renta estabilizada así, que encoge un incidente, la luz resplandeciente en una habitación, un juego de paciencia, un libro, algo hecho en un ángulo raro frente a la chimenea, mientras mis piernas, y esta trama, un hombre viejo, una jovenzuela, él rompió la convivencia con una chica para casarse. O leí una declaración sobre la Primera Guerra Mundial donde todos dijeron que nunca hubo racionamiento en Francia. Hagámoslo de nuevo pretendiendo que no somos pobres. Un hombre abre la puerta de la sala o la habitación. Todo el infierno se derrama, o el cielo, dependiendo de su estado de ánimo. Imagínate el pintor que hizo callar a una menor de edad por siempre en los tiempos y pasó noches estafando a los viajeros sin experiencia. O eso pensó alguien. Pero todo esto entra secretamente en mi cerebro y los reúne a todos, pero no los sujeta.
Next, Mirage, which invokes Philip Guston, who was a great supporter of a lot of the activities of this period in the 70s. And this, he would also change, had gone from his more abstract expressionist period into painting these cartoon-like, wonderful, sort of Ku Klux Klan figures smoking cigars and so on. Mirage. Two shoes fall into the city in Philip Guston's world. A big cigar smokes itself into clouds, city puffs, blocks and buildings, bricks, wood, mortar, prehistoric spikes, ladder and texture, light bulb from the sky, microcosmic sun coming up on discarded canvas tablets, windows of insane intensity with slits for eyes, making me dizzy like the time I said goodbye city, heading for Cuba via Canada. And all that I was leaving was pulsating overdose of majesty from studying the street too hard, its funky holiness, and concrete reflecting the sun or lack of it.
Espejismo. Dos zapatos caen en la ciudad, en el mundo de Philip Guston. Un puro enorme se esfuma en nubes. Bocanadas urbanas, cuadras y edificios, ladrillos, madera y argamasa. Púas prehistóricas. Escalera y textura, un foco desde el cielo. Sol microscópico que amanece en tablas de lienzos descartados, ventanas de insana intensidad, con rajas en vez de ojos, mareándome como la ves que me despedía de la ciudad rumbo a Cuba por Canadá, y todo lo que iba dejando palpitaba, sobredosis de majestad, por estudiar las calles tan intensamente, su bendito funk y el concreto que refleja el sol o su ausencia.
This is invoking this terrific Alex Katz metal cutout of Frank O'Hara. And this was a quote from Alex: vitality being what emanates from the surface. And that's sort of one of the qualities that people always talk of when they speak of the New York School, that sort of surface attention. But I love this line of Alex's. He said Frank O'Hara was like a priest who got into a different business. So, like a priest who got into a different business, you said, Alex, of Frank, his arms and shoulders relax, hawk nose sniffs air, intellect and curiosity keep him on toes, holy vitality cuts space.
El Frank O'Hara de Alex Katz. Y la cita es: la vitalidad del ser es lo que emana de la superficie. Como un sacerdote que se inició en un negocio diferente, dijiste, Alex, sobre Frank. Brazos y hombros se relajan, su nariz aguileña olfatea el aire, intelecto y curiosidad lo mantienen en vilo. Santa vitalidad corta el espacio.
And Jasper Johns here, invitation to a picture hanging, where I was watching one of his pieces being installed. Hemmed in by light to some lyrical extent, the painter resonates. I hate autumn colors, but I don't mind if the leaves are green. Accessible also the bright intensity of Jasper's example, red, yellow, blue, Duchamp's profile as in sleep. I saw under ribs of disorganization, new habitats more sensibly alive, a trick of muscle according to what strange gestures, then a gray area I walk into carried me far past color wheels, characteristic of emotional moods, his, a clearing of the throat might indicate an entry which in itself indicates this idea, an upside-down lover, his firm chair across and down under from which a distorted hanger climbs on Riverside Drive nearly 20 years ago to enclose the life of me, this exists. Jasper said about the panels, I can't remember. Friction and serenity never lost interest, and then I go back into myself breathing. Autumn melancholia, its intricacies, mischievous things made for a well, for a wall, the owner, the lunch, the artist, famous magazine, movers, spectators, other objets d'art. The facilities of the mail, cars, etc. are brought to be upon a woman, among 5 of them at table, too theatrical. I hate theater. It's not exactly a mirror dawdling down a road, Stendhal, but rather sitting opposite his painting. There are not conclusions but delight, for the eyes too serious to be diverting, although conversation certainly isn't. Rubbing one's eyes, ate the interminable newsprint road toward military solutions, yet the triumphant aluminum letters rise up in an illusion of bending to make words of fabulous tendernesses whose adjustments speak of re-stretching the world.
Eso. Invitación para colgar un cuadro de Jasper Johns. Cercado por la luz hasta cierta lírica dimensión, el pintor resuena. Odio los colores del otoño, pero no me importó que las hojas fueran verdes. Accesible también la luminosa intensidad, el ejemplo de Jasper, el rojo, el amarillo y el azul. En la figura de Duchamp como en el sueño, vi costillas de organización, nuevos hábitats más sensiblemente vivos, un truco muscular de acuerdo a qué gestos extraños. Luego, un área gris a la que me dirigí, me llevó más allá de las ruedas de color, característicos de estados emocionales los de él, un carraspeo debe indicar una entrada en sí misma, que indica esta idea. Un amante al revés, su silla firme, en vertical y horizontal, de la cual un colgador escala, en Riverside Drive hace casi 20 años. Para encerrar la vida de mí esto existe, Jasper dijo sobre sus paneles. Yo no puedo recordar. La fricción y la serenidad nunca perdieron interés, y luego vuelvo a mí mismo respirando, melancolía otoñal, sus complejidades, maliciosas cosas hechas para un pozo. El dueño, el almuerzo, el artista, la famosa revista, los motores, los espectadores, los otros objetos del arte. Las facultades de los hombres, de los autos, etc. son impuestos sobre la mujer entre 5 de ellos en una mesa. Demasiado teatral. Odio el teatro. No es exactamente un espejo que se pierde en el tiempo por el camino de Stendhal, sino más bien sentarse frente a su pintura. No hay conclusiones sino deleite, para ojos demasiado serios como para ser desviados. Aunque la conservación no es sin duda frotarse los ojos de oro interminable. Camino de papel periódico hacia una solución militar, pero los triunfantes cartas de aluminio se levantan con la ilusión de doblarse, para hacer palabras tiernas y fabulosas, cuyos cambios hablen de estirar de nuevo el mundo.
Thank you, Florencia. Great job. I love the energy. So this is Edwin Demby speaking after seeing a show by the artist Jane Freilacher in '83. Her color is so marvelous, like cooking. It leaves a wonderful flavor in my mouth, my soul, my eyes. The fact that she could paint the air outside at night in New York City and the air in Southampton is astonishing. It's such a different range and both ways refreshing and convincing. I've never seen anyone paint those subjects, the shells, etc. Of course, the subjects are nothing. For one's own pleasure, that's rare.
Su color es tan maravilloso como cocinar. Deja un hermoso sabor en mi boca, en mi alma, en mis ojos. El hecho de que ella pudiera pintar el aire desde afuera, de noche, en la ciudad de Nueva York y en el aire de Southampton, es alucinante, es un rango tan amplio y en ambos sentidos. En lo fresco y en lo contundente no he visto nunca a alguien que pinte esos objetos, las conchas, etc. Claro que los objetos no son nada, para su propio placer, qué raro.
And this is George Schneemann, People's the Sky, and this is a portrait he did of myself with Edwin Demby, and it's like looking into the past. You know, you never want that thing to age. You know that story. You'll grow younger as the paint dries. You'll be circular woman of handsome tresses and noble neck. You'll look out on 15th century Umbria, lynx-eyed with a hint of disdain, mouth tight and small. You'll travel in advance of olive groves and Lombardy poplars. You'll be flanked by the saints of dance and poetry. You'll become the magnificent color of earth and sky.
George Schneemann, Pueblo del Cielo, en honor al fresco de Edwin Demby y Waldman pintado en 1980. Vas a rejuvenecer mientras la pintura se seca. Vas a ser la mujer circular de cuello noble y hermosas trenzas. Vas a mirar los ojos de felino de la Umbría del siglo XV, con algo de desprecio y con la voz tensa y diminuta. Vas a viajar adelantándote a los álamos de Lombardía y a los bosques de olivos. Vas a estar flanqueada por el santo de la danza y de la poesía. Y vas a convertirte en el magnífico color de la tierra y el cielo.
And the next three are very short. I'll just read them together. And then, celestial black and white. Joe Brainerd's giant night, spelled out in pearls against a black sky, streaked with creases of light. And I still have this beautiful artwork. It was a reject cover for a book because he actually used a pearl necklace that couldn't be reproduced very well. And my system, thinking of Bryce Martin, we were joking about how he reminded us of a jockey, you know, the racetrack. When I go to the track, I look at the jockeys warming up to see if anyone I know to see if any look like someone I know. When I go to the track, I look at the jockeys warming up to see if any look like someone I know, like Bryce Martin. I bet on Bryce Martin and won $115. My horses kept coming in, and I felt I could go on forever looking at the jockeys and the white grandstands. I get sad about my horses and young girls. I could just love them so much. I rode horses in South America and a camel at the pyramids, sad and old. And lastly, small town stun. Yvonne Jacquet pulls up the street, paints, lifts, poises the street louder than flat paint statement, louder than the street quarrel statement, louder than dark sex movie material only statement, louder than paint itself, brave lights, myths, or texture, magnificent innocence and experience, graceful dollops, bob and bobble, traffic sweep, going downtown, strokes of love, going heroic. And then the final little one, architecture for Donna Dennis, who I've actually been recently collaborating with. I want to move into an outlaw corner of your psyche. Stage set, bulbs and angels for a smaller person. Dream scale unfolds the non-figurative menace, echoing footsteps in a subway. You work at arm's length mysteriously, rummaging at the controls.
Negro y blanco celestial. La noche gigante de Joe Brenher deletrea en perla contra un cielo negro rayado con pliegues de luz. Mi sistema. Cuando voy al hipódromo observo a los jinetes calentando para ver si alguno se parece a algún conocido, como a Bryce Marden. Aposté por Bryce Marden y gané $115. Mis caballos siguieron ganando y sentí que podría seguir ahí por siempre, mirando a los jinetes y a la tribuna blanca. Me entristecen los caballos y las niñas. ¿Podría amarlos tanto? Monté caballo en Sudamérica y un camello en las pirámides, viejo y triste. Con la voz más alta que el material oscuro de una película de sexo solamente, con la voz más alta que la pintura misma. Luces valientes, mitos o textura, manifiestan la inocencia y la experiencia, elegante cucharada, reverencia y chuchería, pinceladas de amor que se vuelven heroicas. Y arquitectura para Donna Dennis. Quiero instalarme en el rincón prohibido de tu psiquis, puesta en escena, bombillas y ángeles, para alguien más chico. La magnitud del sueño se abre hacia lo no fugitivo. Pasos amenazantes resuenan en el metro. Trabaja a distancia, misteriosamente, hurgando en los controles.
Along with translation and also the translation between artists and poets.